Ever pondered where true wisdom originates? The answer may surprise you. In our quest for wisdom, many of us turn to a variety of sources. Books brimming with knowledge, mentors laden with experience, and life itself, with its myriad of lessons waiting to be learned. These sources, while valuable, are like rivers flowing into a vast ocean. They provide insights, perspectives, and nuggets of wisdom, but they are not the ultimate source. They are tributaries, not the fountainhead. Consider books, for instance. They capture the distilled essence of an author's thoughts, experiences, and insights. Yet they are only as wise as the author's perspective allows. They can enlighten us, challenge us, even transform us, but they are not the wellspring of wisdom. Then we have mentors, those individuals who guide us through life, sharing their experiences and insights. Their wisdom is invaluable, forged in the crucible of life's challenges. Yet, they too are not the ultimate source of wisdom. They are conduits, channels through which wisdom flows, but they are not the source. And let's not forget life experiences. They are often our most potent teachers. Through trials and tribulations, victories and defeats, we gain wisdom. Yet, even these experiences are not the ultimate source of wisdom. They are classrooms, not the institution. So, where does true wisdom originate? The answer lies in an ancient text, the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, verse 6. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. This verse suggests that the ultimate source of wisdom is not a book, a mentor, or an experience, but God. If we accept this premise, it presents us with a fascinating conundrum. How does this divine wisdom influence our lives? How does it shape our decisions, our actions, our understanding of the world? So if the source of true wisdom is God, how does that affect our decision-making process? Imagine making a decision. Now picture making that same decision, but with God's wisdom guiding you. What's the difference? Let's dive into this a bit more. We all face decisions, big and small, every day. From what to have for breakfast to life-altering choices like career paths, relationships, or ethical dilemmas. Now consider two scenarios. In the first scenario, you're standing at a crossroads. You have all the information, all the pros and cons. You're relying solely on your knowledge, your instincts, your gut. You make a decision. It could be right. It could be wrong. You're left with uncertainty, wondering if you've made the best choice. Now let's paint a different picture. You're at that same crossroads, but this time, you're not alone. God's wisdom is your compass. You're not just relying on your understanding, but seeking insights from a higher source. You're tapping into wisdom that has stood the test of time, wisdom that provides clarity, direction, and peace. Imagine how it feels to make a decision that is guided by an understanding deeper than our own. It's like navigating through a dense forest with a reliable map, instead of wandering aimlessly, hoping to find the right path. This wisdom helps us discern the truth amidst the noise, the right from the wrong. It encourages us to make decisions that align with goodness, compassion, and truth. Decisions that may not always be the easiest, but are the most fulfilling. Decisions that bring us closer to our true purpose. Consider a societal challenge, say, climate change. Without God's wisdom, one might prioritize immediate gains over long-term sustainability. But with God's wisdom, we recognize our responsibility towards our planet, our home. We understand that our actions today impact our future generations. We choose to act responsibly, not out of fear, but out of love and respect for creation. Or think about a personal decision, like choosing a career. Without God's wisdom, we might chase after what's trendy, lucrative, or popular. But with God's wisdom, we seek a path that aligns with our talents, passions, and purpose. We choose a career that not only sustains us, but also contributes positively to the world. The difference in outcomes is stark, isn't it? When we lean on God's wisdom, we make decisions that reflect our highest selves. We move from confusion to clarity, from uncertainty to peace, from self-interest to service. But how can we practically apply this wisdom in our daily lives? Stay tuned as we explore this further in the next scene. Applying God's wisdom in our lives, does that sound daunting? It doesn't have to be. Imagine it as a compass, guiding us through the wilderness of life's decisions, big and small. It's about finding our North Star in the teachings of God. So how can we practically seek and apply this wisdom in our lives? Well, the first and most obvious way is by reading and studying the Bible. This is our primary source of God's wisdom. It's where he has revealed his character, his ways, with his laws, and his promises. When we spend time in his word, we're not just reading ancient texts, we're engaging in a conversation with the creator of the universe. And in this conversation, we can glean wisdom that transcends time and culture. Now let's talk about prayer. This is our direct line to God, where we can ask for wisdom. In the book of James, it says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." So don't hesitate to ask. Be bold in your request for wisdom. But seeking God's wisdom isn't just a solitary pursuit. It involves community too. Seeking wise counsel from those who know God's word is another practical way to apply his wisdom. These are the people who've walked the path before us, who've wrestled with similar questions, and who can offer guidance grounded in God's truth. Remember, this isn't about achieving some kind of spiritual enlightenment overnight. It's about a journey. It's about growing every day, making mistakes, learning from them, and constantly turning to God for guidance. It's about becoming more like him, bit by bit, decision by decision. Incorporating God's wisdom into our daily lives is a journey, not a destination. Are you ready to embark on this journey? So you've started to apply God's wisdom in your life. What changes can you expect? Well, let's dive into that. When you start to integrate God's wisdom into your daily life, the first thing you'll notice is a shift in your character. This isn't about suddenly becoming perfect or never making mistakes. It's about becoming more aligned with the virtues that God values, like kindness, patience, and humility. You'll find yourself becoming more understanding, more forgiving, and more loving, both to others and to yourself. But it doesn't stop there. Imagine the ripple effect it can have on your relationships. When you're guided by God's wisdom, you're able to love more deeply, forgive more easily, and understand others more fully. You'll find that your relationships, whether they're with friends, family, or colleagues, will begin to reflect these values, fostering stronger, healthier connections. Now let's talk about perspective. With God's wisdom, you're not just seeing the world through your own eyes anymore. You're seeing it through a lens of divine understanding. This doesn't mean that all of life's mysteries will be suddenly unveiled. Rather, it means that you'll have a renewed sense of peace and clarity in navigating life's complexities. It's like having a compass that always points you in the right direction. When you live according to God's wisdom, you'll also discover a newfound sense of purpose. You'll realize that you're part of a larger story, that your life has a unique and meaningful role within God's grand narrative. It's a purpose that transcends personal ambition, societal expectations, or worldly success. It's a purpose rooted in love, service, and the pursuit of truth. So what's the impact of God's wisdom? It's transformative. It reshapes your character, redefines your relationships, and refocuses your perspective. It provides you with peace, clarity, and purpose in a world that can often seem chaotic, confusing, and purposeless. God's wisdom can transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. Are you ready for that transformation? Now, let's take a moment to reflect. Ponder over this. How can you begin to apply God's wisdom in your life starting today? It's not a rhetorical question, rather an invitation to introspection. It could be as simple as being more patient with a colleague, or as profound as reevaluating your life's purpose. Maybe it's about finding the courage to make a difficult decision, or the strength to forgive. Perhaps it's about understanding the value of humility, or recognizing the importance of gratitude. Each of us has different areas in our lives where we yearn for wisdom. So take a minute, breathe, and think, where do you need God's wisdom the most? This is not about finding an immediate answer, but about starting a journey towards understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. The journey to wisdom begins with a single step. What will your first step be?